Hey, what's up guys, Cali Kid here, and I'm actually bringing you guys a FIFA 20 club rebuild this time. I had uploaded 2 Madden gameplays. I figured I'd switch it up for you guys. I really like soccer, so I play a lot of FIFA. Not as much this year because I don't really like the online aspect of this FIFA. I don't really like the tactics, but these are some of the rules for the rebuild. I'm going to simulate all the games we get into except the finals. I'm going to give myself 3 seasons to rebuild AC Milan. And, of course, if I get fired, then the rebuild just ends where it is. So my 2 goals for this season are to win the league and win the Europa League, which AC Milan is currently in. I had the opportunity to increase my budget by 15%. I'm going to turn that down. I'm going to try to keep this rebuild as I guess you could say as realistic as possible, if that's even possible in FIFA. This time around I'm going to play on Legendary, not Ultimate. My next rebuild I'll probably do Ultimate, but this time I'm going to stick to Legendary. I'm going to disable the international job offers. I'm going to really focus on AC Milan. First and foremost, when I get into this club, we're actually going to start a quick little preseason tourney, try to get a little bit of prize money to build up the team. I'm going to go through the squad. I'm going to find out what players I want to keep on, what players I want to sell on to try to play the way I like to play. There's a lot of players in this team that I don't really like that are costing a lot of money. One of the biggest players that's costing the most money is Ibrahimovic. But he's 37, I believe. He's going to be pretty hard to get off of. Probably not going to be able to sell him on. But there's a lot of other players that I can sell on to bring in players I want to use. I'm going to look around to see what players fit my scheme the way I like to play. But just looking at the squad, there's a couple players that are interesting. Some nice goalies. Mati Caldara, I'm probably gonna bring him in. I like him as a player. He's pretty young. Lucas Paqueta seems like a good player. Frank Kessie, Samu Castillejo. I'm probably gonna get rid of Çalhanoğlu. I don't like him. I don't like how he plays. Suso's a good player. I'm gonna bring him back from loan. Ibrahimovic is retiring at the end of the season. He's on earning quite a bit of money. I don't really like that, but for his age I don't think I'm going to be able to sell him. So we bring back Suso. Cost us 1.3 million. Well worth it. I think he's a good player. He can do a lot for us. He can play winger. He can play more midfield, that cam role. We got a good bunch of keepers there, so we're gonna get into the formations, move them around. We got some Rebic. Rebic is a good player. Got some quality center backs. Of course, Donnarumma, a good goalkeeper, good young goalkeeper. I'm going to play with this formation a bit, and we're going to get into our first game right now. Alright guys, so the first game in the European International Cup is actually against Chelsea, who are in Europe. They're my favorite club. I'm really excited for what they do next season, but they ended up beating us 2-1. Alonso, Batshuayi, we score 1. But we don't start off too great. We lose the first game. We actually end up tying the next game 1-1 with Villarreal. Ibrahimovic gets us a goal. We 4-1 Leicester, which is really good. Ibrahimovic, Leao, Castillejo, and Conti. And for them, Tielemans gets them 1 goal. So we lose 1, we tie 1, and we win 1. We go up against Dortmund next. Tough game, but we ended up winning it thanks to Çalhanoğlu, actually. We got a lot of really good players. Haaland, Mertens that they brought in. Royce, Brandt, Götze, Hazard. So we're in the final against Chelsea again. It was actually a pretty slow game, not much going on. They get through on that one. Luckily he's offsides, but on this one, Ruben Loftus-Cheek comes in and scores a 1-0. I had a good chance there at the end, but Christensen cuts it off. We end up losing 1-0. We lose out on the 12 million, I think, for our budget, which isn't great, but it gave me a chance to look at what players I didn't want. We start bringing some players in. We start off with Ezequiel Barco, who I think can play really good. He was on a, I think, 7,000 wage. We ended up paying him 20-something thousand, which isn't a whole lot for a player as young as him. I think he's going to be a really good player with us. We go after Alan next. The value was 35. They go all the way up, almost to 60. It just gets a little too expensive for what I want to do. I want to bring in more players. We probably could have gotten Alan, but it would have gotten too expensive. Next, we take Adama Traore. We end up paying a little bit more than I thought we would. But for his age, his speed, and what he can do, it's well worth it. We end up paying him a little bit more in wages than I would have thought. But I really like to play the false 9 formation. And the wingers are really important right there. So we start getting some pretty good results. We 3-1 Udinese. I think that was the start of the season. 2-0. We were getting really good results. Barco actually scores a goal. Kessie scores a goal. He's doing pretty good. We end up bringing in Renato Augusto. I really like him because one of his traits is a leader of men. I believe that's what it was said. And in our team, we have a lot of young players that we need a good captain. You can never overlook having a good captain that can lead your team. So we end up bringing him in, mess around with the formations a bit. We make Augusto the captain. We got Rebic, Barco, Traore, Bonaventura, Kessie, Calabria, Lucas Hernandez, Romanoli, Donnarumma, and I think his name is Kier. I might be wrong on that. I don't know. I probably butchered it. But we got a nice team going here. We actually lose Suso for 3 months, I think. He picked up a big injury, which is unfortunate, but we still have a lot of good depth in the midfield. We still got Lucas Paqueta, Beckett coming. He's a good creative guy. Rebic picks up the goal for us right there. We're doing pretty good in Serie A. We're in 3rd place right now, I believe. Which, knowing Juventus, probably going to be a tough team to beat. They got way more depth than I got. They got way better players than I have, so that's going to be tough to catch them. But here we are in the Europa League. We got a pretty easy group. The one team maybe that will give us trouble is maybe Getafe. But we got Sevilla right there. There's us. PSV, Sporting, Lazio. We got Arsenal right there, big team, Frankfurt, FC Porto, and then not very much. We got Roma right there, Wolves, and Manchester United. So those teams are probably going to be the big ones that we're going to run into later on down the line. Augusto starting off pretty good. We 2-1 Basel, Traore, and Augusto get the goals. So we're starting off pretty good. We start off with the 3 points in our group. Shouldn't be too tough of a group to win, but you never know. We come up against Inter Milan, big team. We need to beat them. They're in 4th. We're in 5th. We end up moving some players around just to keep a good rotation going. I believe 3 days after this game we got to play another team, so we can't have all our players playing too many minutes. We got to pace them out a bit. We still got to think about the Europa League that we have to win. Or we don't have to win, but we're really going to try to win so we can bring in some trophies. We move some players around. Ibra gets a start. Alright, so for the game against Inter, I ended up settling on this group of players. As you can see, Traore is actually on the bench this time. I start Castillejo in his spot. Barco gets to start. Ibra gets to start. Against a really tough team. They have Lukaku, Martinez, Vecino, a lot of good players. I was hoping we could get the win, but fortunately we ended up tying. We also pick up an injury to Castillejo, but luckily we don't lose any points. We split the point, so we don't fall behind too much. Next game we bounce back 2-1 Torino, Augusto, Bonaventura. So we're doing all right. We're not at the top spot yet, but we're not losing points. We're not dropping too many points besides that one tie. I believe Juventus is still at the top spot. So when we run into them, we'll definitely have to try to pick up the win right there. Fiorentina up next. We do pretty good right there. We ended up 3-0ing them. Ibra picks up 2. Romagnoli gets another one. So we're doing really good in the league right now. Just waiting for that game against Juventus, which is going to be a massive game for us. If we lose that one, we probably won't catch them to win the league. But we're back here to the Europa League. We got to make sure we do good in that. Hopefully win that so we can win a trophy. So yeah, in the next episode of this, I'm going to be finishing up this season, the Europa League, and we're going to see if we hit our goals for this season. Hopefully we hit at least one. I'm really hoping to hit both of them, but with the strength of Juventus, I don't know if we're going to be able to beat them out to the league. The Europa League seems a lot more winnable, so we're going to try to win that. Alright, so that's all for this episode, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.